Alright guys, so a couple people have been asking me to do a video on 5 things that I hate about my O3 Cobra. Again, this is a fitness lifestyle channel, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of videos just about the Cobra. Like 90% of my videos are going to be on fitness topics and anything lifestyle fitness, but the O3 Cobra is a big part of my life, a big part of my lifestyle, and a big part of who I am, so I did want to make this video. I did want to scratch that itch that a couple of you guys had. So this video is going to be mainly about 5 things that I hate about my O3 Cobra. With a little bit of workout footage text on at the end to talk about what's going on with my life currently, what kind of where I'm at with everything. But without further ado, let's go into this 5 things I hate about my O3 Cobra. So number 1 is going to be the independent rear suspension and how clingy it is when it hits things. Like literally, because my car has a lot of mileage, 125,000 miles right now, it's really clingy. Like every bump I go over, it's like cha-ching, cha-ching, like it literally sounds like there's a piggy bank under my car, and every time I hit any sort of road bump, it's like lots of cha-chinging and clicking, and it terminates my eardrums, and I don't like how it terminates my eardrums. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And you know, that shouldn't really even be a criticism, because it's a 2003 automobile with 125,000 miles. It just needs new suspension parts. But nevertheless, it is sort of irritating to be like cha-chinging down the road, just like click. I'm not having a good interpretation here of what the IRS sounds like when it hits road bumps. So number 2, which is also about the IRS suspension. So because of the way the suspension is set up, the exhaust sits under it. And if you have an O3 Cobra and you lower it, your exhaust is gonna scratch like everything you go over. Like anytime a road bump comes up, like just all the time you're gonna hear scraping and scratching, and that is because of the way that the IRS is set up with the exhaust under it. The exhaust on an O3 Cobra hangs down very, very low, and especially if you put long tube headers on the car, your long tubes are probably going to scratch everything, and every time you worry, like, am I screwing up my exhaust? Am I messing up? Am I causing an exhaust leak because I hit this bump that I didn't mean to hit because I lowered the car a couple of inches? And so if you have an O3 Cobra and you lower it, not because your car is super low, but because your X pipe or H pipe is going to hang down very, very low, it's probably going to scrape everything, and you're going to eventually tear up your exhaust and your headers over time, and there's like absolutely nothing you can do about it if you want your car to be lowered. Number 3 is just the fact that the car runs like an absolute turd when it's hot outside, because it is supercharged. Supercharged cars, especially O3 Cobras, get very, very easily and very, very quickly heat soaked. And what I mean by heat soaked, if you don't already know what that means, is when it gets really hot outside, basically the car gets very angry because it's hot, and because it's taking so much energy to power the supercharger, and it just gets so hot, and it's hard to keep stuff cool because of the big supercharger, the big entity, the big like thing on top of the engine. Let's just call it like, let's call it a Peter. Let's call it an alien. There's a giant alien sitting on top of my engine, and it has to work really hard. It has to work really hard, and it gets overheated really easily. So yeah, car gets really hot, and when that happens, it just does not run well. It does not run well at all. It feels like you're having to give it more throttle to go. It burns more fuel, less fuel efficient. It feels less powerful. It feels like it's like dragging. It's just not, it's not fun. Like, blower cars really just don't do well when it's really hot outside in the summer. So like, it's kind of a contradiction, because you want to drive your muscle car during summer when everybody has their cars out, but if you have a blower car, it rides like crap during the summer. Number 4 is going to be this guy. So this right here is a fuel rail pressure sensor. This is what it looks like. This is the old one that I took off. Like, little holes everywhere. Look at that. Fuel goes into that little thing. Just a little bit. Anyways, if you own an O3 Cobra, this guy, $120 to $130, and it's probably gonna go out on you like every couple of years. Like every couple of years, this little guy is gonna go out, And especially if you modify your O3 Cobra at all, and by that I mean you put a pulley on it, you tune it, you put exhaust on it, cold air intake, just the bolt-ons, just the normal bolt-ons that a normal O3 Cobra owner would do. This is your weak link. This thing is very easy to break. Like literally, you get on the car a little bit. You just do a little bit of happy fun time, like a little bit of smiles per gallon, and you're gonna break this guy. And it's not gonna break on the spot. You're just gonna start the car like the next day, and it's gonna be sputtering and cutting up, and then it's gonna die.
So what was the problem with the car?
The fuel rail pressure sensor went out, and it caused the entire car to say, "I don't like you for the day." Because of this guy, $120 fuel rail pressure sensor that helps regulate the fuel. And here's what sucks. Once this thing breaks and the car is cutting up, chopping up the gas, and it sounds really bad, like it's dying.
That little tiny piece.
Little tiny thing. See, what they told me when I talked to Dan from Pardana last night, what he told me is, take the little switch over here and try to crank it. If it sprays out fuel, it's messed up, and it squirted like right all.
Oh, did it?
Squirted everywhere.
I think it can.
If you don't just let it die and then change this guy right away, you try to keep it going, get it home or whatever it is, try to clear it out because it just seems like the fuel's clogging up, whatever it is, you are going to flood gas into your oil, and now you're going to have to change the oil. Either in the parking lot like I had to do, or you're going to have to get it towed, because if you don't, you're probably going to screw up your motor pretty damn bad and you'll have to spend thousands of dollars rebuilding it. So watch this little guy. If you know anybody that can get these for a really good deal for, I recommend if you buy an O3 Cobra, just to buy a bunch of these at a low cost, just to have them sitting around. Just because if that happens, you want to change it on the spot, not even run the car, because if you do run the car, you run into problems. This little guy is the most annoying pain with O3 Cobras. Like fuel problems. O3 Cobras, fuel problems, end of story. That's the main kind of gripe I have about O3 Cobras is fuel problems, and most of them are caused by this guy. Thing that I hate about my O3 Cobra is, like, anytime there's a crowd around, it feels like it's just steering towards the crowd, and like I feel my foot going down on the pedal. It's almost like I want to downshift into a lighter gear so I can accelerate, but at the same time my steering wheel is just like pulling towards the crowd. It's weird. Oh shit. It's really weird. It's like when you own an O3 Cobra, it just feels like it gravitates towards large crowds of people, especially if there's children in the crowds. I don't quite understand it, but that thing, like literally, if the military really did want to disperse crowds, they wanted to have a vehicle or invent something that would be great for crowd dispersal, you would think the entire military would just buy fleets of O3 Cobras and take off the cats and make them really, really loud. Like, they gravitate towards crowds. So whenever there are violent protests going on, people are being shot, just bring out a bunch of O3 Cobras. That crowd is gone. Is gone. Alright guys, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and conclude this portion of the video. I really hope you enjoyed 5 things that I hate about my O3 Cobra. Now we're gonna go on to a little bit of workout footage just to talk about where I'm at in life, so I can voice it over and talk to you guys. All love. I'll see you right now. What's up guys, I'm back. So sort of quick update. This is actually just like one single with 335 on the squat, as well as one single with 425 on the deadlift, which is from yesterday, and yesterday was Monday, June 19th. Today is June 20th. I was going to go and record my whole workout today and then put that on the end of the video, but instead I'm going to put that on the next video because I have other things that I want to talk about. But right now, basically what's going on with me is still trying to find investors for my company. You know, I got dropped on my face with the investor that I had being not real. O3 Cobra is fixed. Buick, I'm still working on trying to figure out what I'm going to do with. Buick has the rear passenger window is broke, so right now it's just taped up. I may get the parts and try to fix the motor and the window myself, or yeah, I don't know. I may just tape it up with some really thick tape. So trying to get investor, got to fix the Buick. My cell phone is fixed. My Cobra is fixed, and yeah, the 531 program right here that you see, I'm just doing singles, so this is the 1 week. It's really boring, so I'm probably going to modify it and Jordanize it, or come up with my own powerlifting progression scheme. I'm not really sure yet, but yeah, I didn't win summer shredding. I'm fat right now because I'd like binge ate last week because I was stressed out, and I want to get back to where I was. I got down to 168. I got down to 165 depleted. So I know this sounds crazy, but I want to get back down to 165 and stay that way for a while and build my strength above that body weight and learn how to maintain like a shredded physique all the time. Got more things that I want to say, but I'm going to save it to the next video because I'm going to keep this video short and sweet, mostly about the Cobra, because I'm happy that I got it fixed, and this is my video to you guys getting it fixed to kind of celebrate that it's fixed. So yeah, all love. I'll see you guys on the next video. Comment if you have any questions or concerns. Subscribe for more Jordan workout footage, Cobra stuff, whatever it is that you're here for. Bye bye.